Welcome to my review of Dead End City for the Series X, and this is on multiple platforms. I also played the game on Switch, and it was identical, but it was glitching out on me and crashing. I don't remember if it was crashing on the actual emulator for Switch or the actual system, but either way, as long as you get a stable version of the game, it should be identical across all the platforms it's on. It's definitely on multiple platforms. It took me around an hour and 15 minutes to beat on normal, and hard mode took me around 7 hours and 23 minutes additionally, after beating normal. So hard mode was actually quite challenging, and I will drop a link to my tutorial in the description as well. I did a tutorial for hard mode with commentary. So normal was pretty much like a moderate challenge. You have limited continues to beat the game. And the normal mode, it was a moderate challenge if you're experienced at shooters. It's basically an overhead shooter, but with a unique twist on the formula because you have gas cans that you can collect, and by doing that, you keep your fuel up. So if you run out of fuel, you die. So, on top of fighting everything, you do have to keep your fuel up as well. And if I remember right, your fuel is also your health. So, I think when you take a hit, you don't die in one hit. I think your fuel counts as part of your health as well. And if you top off your fuel, meaning you fill it up all the way, I think you get a damage bonus for maybe a brief period of time until your fuel goes back down again. It is a little hazy because I beat this one a while ago, and I was going to review it, but then I stopped doing reviews for a while. So I'm trying to bring back the reviews again. So, some of the games that I edited for review, I'm a little bit hazy on them, but I do remember the basic gist and, how I felt about the game. So even though some details are not going to be there, it's going to be pretty accurate to how I felt about the game. So yeah, it's pretty much an overhead shooter, but I really like the twist on the gas cans that kind of give you your health and, allow you to survive, because, you have to try to manage that as well. You want to pick those up. A lot of overhead shooters have stars and things you collect, for score to get extra points. But in this game, it's cool because it's actually a survival mechanic. So I thought that was cool, and it kind of fits the the Mad Max vibe of the game. It's kind of going for that type of feel. The vehicles also have different attributes to them. Now, I don't remember the differences between each vehicle, but you can select the vehicle before you start your run. And I think they have different special attacks. You have like a screen-clearing bomb type of attack, if I remember right. And I think they all have different specials and, different gunfire and different attributes. I think some of them may move a little faster. So I think there is a good variety of, reasons to try different vehicles. And you also unlock them as you play, so you'll unlock other vehicles to try. Some of the unlocks, I believe, require you to perform certain little achievements to unlock them, which I think the game tells you as well, if I remember right. But aside from that, this is just like, an overhead shooter with a little spin on the formula, but it's done really well, plays really well. And I ended up liking it a lot. It was one of the better overhead shooters that I played, definitely. And I haven't really heard the game mentioned, so it's definitely worth checking out if you like these kind of games. I don't remember exactly how some of the I think some of the shit that you collect will give you like more bombs and stuff like that, but some of those details are a little hazy. Also, the hitbox for your car is really a small dot in the center of the car, and I believe you can turn the hitbox on or off, the hitbox indicator, which will show where your hitbox is, which is the area where your car actually takes damage. So you really only can take damage if you get hit in the center of your car. It's kind of like a bullet hell style, but it's not super dense like a bullet hell game. It's kind of an in-between of something like, something like Truxton or R-Type, and a bullet hell game, somewhere in the middle, because it's not dense, like those bullet curtain games with curtains of bullets. It's not super dense like that. Even on the hardest mode, it doesn't get This is the hardest mode that I'm showing here, and it doesn't get like, crazy dense or anything like that, but it's still challenging. The hard mode, like I said, was quite difficult because it took me over 7 hours, so it wasn't easy at all. But it's a different style of shooter. It's kind of like a hybrid between a bullet hell shooter and, a more standard like 80s shooter, like R-Type or something like that. Truxton is probably a better comparison because that's also an overhead type of shooter, and it's not a super dense game, but there may not be a shitload of bullets in Truxton, but the bullets just move really fucking fast, and, it's a very hard game. But this is kind of like somewhere in between, bullet hell and like your standard shooter from the 80s. The boss fights are very cool. Usually you have to take out multiple sections of the boss, and a lot of times they have multiple phases. If I remember right, when you take out some of the main bosses, you'll have to fight, they'll come out in a car, and you'll have to then destroy the car. Unless that was like a little intermission type of middle stage. I'm not sure exactly how the bosses were broken up, but I remember they were pretty extensive fights. You have to take out several parts. One thing I do like about the game is there's a boss health bar, which, a lot of games don't have. So you can at least see how close you are to killing the boss and, what kind of damage you're doing. So the health bar is definitely good. You also get some kind of bonus if you destroy everything in a wave. There's basically waves of enemies. If you destroy everything in that wave, I think you get some kind of bonus. I think it might be like you get a nice chunk of fuel replenishment. I don't remember exactly how the lives worked in the game. It's possible that you may only have one life and you just have to keep your fuel full, but I just don't remember because I haven't played in a while. I'd have to look into that. But overall, I'd give the game an 8 out of 10. I think it's quite a good shooter. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.